do we, oh, wait for the crying to stop. Babies. Let's see. Okay, let's get into this makeup look today. Crying. Today's look is going to be featuring the Urban Decay Smoky Palette. If you don't follow me here, why not? Get to it. I've been decluttering a lot of my eyeshadow palettes. In fact, I have not bought an eyeshadow palette in 8 months, at least, minimum. I told myself I was going to buy myself a prize in June for decluttering and not buying anything for 6 months, but here we are in August, end of August almost, and I haven't bought one, so, right? Guess I don't need it. So today I'm going to use the Naked Smoky. This is a beautiful palette. First of all, the packaging is really pretty. Like, I love that sort of marble, faux marble vibe and the taupey colors. It is a more, I guess, cool-toned palette compared to like what we've seen in the last few years. I do think there are more cool-toned palettes that are on the market now, which I love. I love warm tones as well. I think because I have green eyes that lean blue or blue eyes that lean green. I like to say they're green to feel more special. I can wear purples and like, you know, cool tones like that, but I can also carry like a cranberry eye or very like bronzy coppery eye because that complements green. You know, and then we get these like bronzy tones, which look great on blue eyes because brown like kind of makes a blue eye pop. I don't know why I'm whispering since the baby's being louder than me. But yes, I was kind of feeling this for today. It is the mid to end of August. I have no idea what today is. The baby is 2 weeks old, so the 21st-ish. And it's kind of like fallish today. Even though it's warm, it's like 80. It feels more like 75 because it's breezy and up until now, very like gloomy out, so I was feeling very fall. So this is gonna be like my pre-fall look, my fall dreams, my pushy fall vibes. I don't know. I have another palette that I really love for the fall, but it's like a true fall palette and it's like my go-to, and I will maybe do a look with that when we actually get into fall. But this is like, I like the baby's getting closer. Why is it getting closer? Let's take a pause. Okay, so what I was saying is that I like a all matte eye for fall. I don't know why that says fall to me, but just like a nice matte eye. And I'm thinking, looking at this, it could go one of two ways. I could do like a gray, but I think I'm gonna like stick down here and do more of like a matte brown eye and maybe like put this black in there to sort of deepen it up. I don't know if this black is really actually matte. Oh, it's pretty matte. I don't know if you can tell. It's not the blackest of blacks, but I would just be using it to sort of darken up some spots, you know, like maybe on the outers, the outer V's. I don't know, maybe I'll put that on my lid and then like do a gradient with the brown. I actually have no plan for this. All I know is I feel fall vibes. I feel witchy today, and I want to kind of like coerce that out of the universe. So if you could actually see this, this is a very adorable picture behind me. Also, side note, I'm just gonna apparently talk through this whole video. I have an idea for this room. So today I like turned my makeup desk away from the natural light because there's a window right here, and I have a window like on the other side of the room. But putting me there in front of that window, while I love the natural light, has the weird background of like 45 doors, like a closet door and like the door that exits this room. So there's a blank wall here. I have like this pumpkin, vintage pumpkin poster. It's like a replica of like a Halloween card. You can't see it because it's up too high. But I'm thinking of this wall doing like a Art Deco wallpaper treatment just on this wall and then like painting the rest of the room like a fresh white because it's kind of like a weird dingy dirty sock white. So then that would be my background, and then I could have like some artwork behind me if I wanted to, but it would just give like the room more of a studio feel. If you've been watching this channel for years, you know that I used to have a studio. I used to film in my old house in Detroit, which had a beautiful background. And then my ex built a studio in the basement, so I had like a permanent filming space. So it's kind of been like just wherever I'm sitting. All right, anyways, on my face already, I have brows. I've been using the MAC Shape and Shade It's kind of like a felt tip pen for my brows. I'm having like I like them darker. I've let a lot of my natural color fill in, so I'm kind of liking the darker eyebrow. And I think for fall and winter, I'm gonna stick with like a darker hair color. I'm gonna just like let it grow so that I have more of like blonde on the ends. I mean, I'm a dirty blonde like naturally, but it's just a little bit darker vibe. I have prepped my skin with all my skincare, and earlier today, because it's like 3 o'clock right now, I slapped a little bit of the MAC Face and Body on, because I just feel better if I have something on my face. Like, people have been stopping by to see the baby and blah, blah, blah. So I have something on my skin, but not a lot. So, which is perfect, because this could have some fallout, and that way I can like easily get rid of it if it occurs. Because I don't really have like foundation on, and I'm probably just gonna add another layer of the Face and Body, which is what is great about that foundation, is you can layer it throughout the day. I love that. And I'm gonna need some concealer for these bags. These are the new mama bags. Oh Lord. So what I think I'm gonna do is start with, this is how I used to always do my makeup before the days of YouTube and Instagram and people's like opinions on how you should do your makeup. I just did it the way I liked to do it. So I would typically, if I was gonna do something smoky, which is kind of what I want to do today. Also, sidebar, if I haven't mentioned this already, like in the intro to this video, Kelly and I are gonna walk to like our favorite little bar in town. It's called Vito's, and it is a wine bar, but they also have like, their specialties are old fashions and Manhattans, which are not my jam, but my wife likes bourbon. And since the baby's 2 weeks old, we haven't really like had any cocktails. She's actually pumping right now, so that's probably why the baby's screaming, because she just wants boobs. So that we can like bring a bottle with us. We're gonna bring the baby. The bartenders there are like our friends, and because it's small town America, so everyone knows everyone. They're like, you better bring the baby, and they have a patio, so if we want to sit outside and it's not raining or anything, we don't disturb like other people, you know, who are trying to have adult time. But yeah, so that's our plan. We're gonna go early, around like 4:30, grab a cocktail, and they have really good flatbread pizzas. So that is the plan. So that's why I'm putting on some makeup, and I kind of want to get ready. I haven't really like done my makeup. Yesterday I did, because I filmed the intro to the baby vlog. So if you haven't watched that, go watch that. I'll put it maybe in the eye. But right now I'm just going to start with some concealer on my eyelids just as a base. Sometimes I use like Paint Jelly Paint Pot or whatever, but honestly, concealer works too. So this is like how I would have done it in 2007. Before everyone's input, I would just put something for a little bit of a base, a sticky, tacky base. Actually, I used to have these MAC like shadow sticks that I would use as my base. And honestly, I loved that, because like the black one was amazing if you're doing like a smoky eye. I wonder if they still make those. I have not even bothered to look. I mean, I guess the paint pots are sort of like the same thing, because those are technically cream eyeshadows. I'm kind of wanting to get into more of those. Tell me if you guys have a favorite MAC paint pot that you like to wear as an actual eyeshadow and not as like just a base. So I'm just popping some concealer on. That's the concealer I've been using. It has pretty good coverage for these horrible eye bags that I've grown. So you'll be seeing that later when I slap that on the under eyes. So just popped that on. And I do think I'm going to start with that black color and then do like a black to sort of like brown gradient. So I'm just going to take a shader, like a flat shader brush. This is a Crown brush, if you don't know that brand. I'm a hairstylist, so like there's always like a hair show, and they're always at the hair show. I think I just picked this up one year just to have some backup brushes, but I actually like, there's two. There's a smaller one. But the smaller one, this one, is actually the one, no wait, this one. It's a shorter, like, and it has some cream shadow on it, so I'm not using that one. So we're gonna use this one, and I'm just gonna dip into that. It's called Black Market, right here. And I'm gonna do that closest to my lash line, up to like my, not my crease, but like all over the lid, but stopping short of the crease, because I don't really want the black up here. So yeah, we're gonna have kind of like adult time tonight, but with a baby. Does that make sense? Like, we're just gonna bring the baby with. I do like this black has a slight blue vibe to it, but that's okay. So see how I'm not really like bringing it up towards where like the crease would begin? It's more concentrated near the lash line. And that's because I don't want this to like get muddled up into the crease. I want the darkest color to be near my lash line. And a nice thing about doing an all matte dark look, you don't need any liner for that. Because who has time for eyeliner? I need to slap these on before that baby starts crying again. Oh, just to feel human is kind of nice to sit in my room and do some makeup, although it's 1,000 degrees in here because we turned the air conditioning off because it's kind of breezy out. But just to sit down and do like nighttime makeup, because pretty much what I've been doing is just like my skincare, very light, you know, foundation, brows, because I don't have any. I have brows, they're just very sparse and very light. So without them, I just feel like I don't have a face. Sometimes with like an all matte smoky eye like this, I probably will put just some liner by my lash line because I feel like you can never get a shadow like close enough, and I don't want to see like a blank space between my lashes and the rest of my makeup because that just looks not good. All right, so now that we have that darkest shadow down, honestly guys, my brain's not working, so I have no idea like if I'm gonna make any sense, because the sleep deprivation portion of this life is no joke. I was all cocky and was like, I'll be fine. I'm kind of an insomniac. Like, I don't really sleep that much or hard. Like, I'm never really that asleep. Oh boy, this is different because it's never really like cohesive, I guess. Like, it's broken up and in chunks, and that is a whole different feeling, you know, than like I couldn't get to sleep till whatever time, you know. No, it's like I fell asleep hard for 2 hours, then I was abruptly woken up by screaming, then I fell asleep for 2 hours, then I was woken up by screaming. So it's just so like chopped up and like violent. It's a tired I've never felt. So now I'm going in with this brown shade called Whiskey. It's kind of like a medium to dark warm brown. I really like this shade actually. And I'm gonna just blend. See how I blinked because of, I don't have hooded eyes, but I'm old, so like they're starting to droop. We're just gonna start blending that right in that space that we kind of left between the black and my crease. And then we'll just buff it out. And I'm using a Sonia Kashuk brush that I have had for like 62,000 years. And if you are a longtime viewer of this channel, you will have seen it over the last 5 years about 1,000 times. I am not being neat because a smoky eye does not need to be neat. It's gonna look messy, a controlled mess, if you will, and smoky, obviously. So once I have that color laid down, I'm just literally gonna buff for a while. So while I'm buffing in between these two eyeballs, let's talk about the future here. The future of my life. So I'm off work for about a month. I have 3 weeks of no work, like just nothing. Just I took it off, I'm not doing anything. I was originally gonna have like 5 weeks off, but I started to panic about like money and stuff because, you know, life. And I decided that the first 2 weeks of September, I'm actually gonna work 2 nights just to kind of get back into the swing of things. And then from there, I'm gonna work 3 nights and then 1 Saturday a month. For hairstylists, like, it's amazing to be able to just kind of like be like, nope, I'm not gonna work more than that, and this is gonna be my life now, and thank you and goodbye. And because I'm at a new salon, I literally do not feel obligated to anyone, like client-wise. Like, I would have felt extremely obligated to be available more at my old salon just because I had such a built-up clientele, and I didn't want to disappoint people or like if they had events going on, like, you know, mess up their lives. But I'm kind of like, you know what, this is my life. And over the last 3 years, I've had to like take inventory of like what's important and what makes me happy. And honestly, working less makes me happy. I have no money. But you know, that should tell you something. To each their own, obviously, but for me, having more time to like be with my family, Kelly and Hazel and my stepdaughter, and be in my home. I like being in my home. My home is very important to me. So like to spend so much time away from it and then also try to take care of it was like an overwhelming task for me. So this is like much more manageable for me. Like, I go to work, I get that social interaction, I'm practicing my craft, you know, I'm being artistic, I'm being creative, but then I still get to be like Aaron, who likes to like make dinner and make pies and make cakes and treats and cookies. Like tonight after we're actually gonna stop at this place and get an ingredient that I need. I'm gonna make lactation cookies for my wife because I looked up some recipes and they have something called brewer's yeast in them. I'm like, what the hell is that? But you can get it at the regular store, but we actually live in a small college town, so there's a couple breweries here, and the one has like your own beer making supplies, and they have it. So we're gonna stop and grab that. So tonight after we go on our early bird gets the worm date at like 4:30, I'm gonna make some cookies for my wife. But like in my past life, I could have never done that because I wouldn't have had time and I would have been too tired and wanted to die. All right, so now I'm gonna go into this like light tan color called Combust. Right there. This is gonna be the color that sort of like pulls it all together and makes it less messy looking. And I'm gonna start that right above my crease and just below my brow bone. It sort of smooths everything out. See how it's kind of going into the hollows here? I don't mind that, and I won't clean that up. I am fine with that. So I go back to work, and then it's gonna be the best time of the year, right? Like the fall. So I'm already like finding all the fall things to do because number one, I need to find a lot of things that are not expensive because money's, and that are kid friendly so we can entertain my stepdaughter while still getting out of the house with a tiny baby because I don't want to be trapped up in my house. So there's like pumpkin festivals and all that stuff. We'll be in Michigan a couple of times before Thanksgiving, so we'll do some fall stuff there. So what are your favorite things to do in the fall? If you live in the Midwest, you know it's all about pumpkins. It's all about going to the pumpkin patch and, you know, picking your pumpkins, carving your pumpkins, making pumpkin treats, decorating with pumpkins. Pumpkins. All right, so I'm going to just go back in with that original black shade and tap it on the lid just to kind of redefine the darkness there, because they can get lost in the blending. See how that just kind of like brings it back? So there's a little bit of fallout with this. All you need to do is grab a wipe and clean up under your eye, and that's what I will be doing once I have everything how I want it. So now I'm going to go under the eye with that brown whiskey shade that we started with. Where's my little brush? Oh dear. How is my brush lodged under my phone mirror situation? We're just gonna leave that. I have another one. You just need to get a little, what am I trying to say? Under the eye buffing brush? What is that called? You know, this guy. This is a MAC brush, I think. Yeah, I don't know. My hands are acid hands and they eat the lettering off of things. So yeah, so we're just gonna go under there with that whiskey shade. The nice thing about all matte looks for me and what I like about them is they are kind of grungy. I am 43, so I am from the 90s. So I feel like, oh yeah, brown eyeshadow all over my eyeball, great. In fact, if you'd like to see how I did my makeup in high school, you could check back. I'll link it. Krista and I did a video of our high school makeup looks. It's hysterical because it's nothing, really. They're like nothing. And Krista's is a lot of white shimmer. Krista and I are like 6 years apart, so you could tell the styles were a little different. I graduated in 94 and she graduated in 2000. Again, I'm just plopping this. This is not precision at all. Then after I have this color down, I'm gonna take that lighter tan shade and then kind of just diffuse under the eye with it. Remember that I'm gonna put some concealer on, so this does not actually matter what's happening right now. Then I'm gonna grab a fluffy brush, actually the Sonia Kashuk one that I was using. Just get a little of that shade Combust, the tan shade, and just underneath, kind of clean that up. What that does is like softens that line, but it also like cleans up these edges over here. Because it's not a skin tone shade, but it's not super far off. And then it just blows this edge out a little bit more. Okay, and then to finish, I'm going to grab a different little fluffy brush. Where are you, little different fluffy brush? Where'd you go? I just used you. Hims is gone. Where'd he go? Did I put him somewhere weird? Oh, my brain, my old dead brain. All right, so what we're gonna do is just kind of, I don't wanna look for it. That's too much. And I'm gonna go into that cream shade at the very end of the palette, which is called 13, right here. And I'm gonna use that on my brow bone and to kind of just tie it all together. Remember the days of a very shimmery brow bone? My go-to color for that was Floof by MAC. Anybody? What was yours? I used to have this little MAC palette. It was a Christmas like holiday situation. And it had 6 shades and it was kind of like plush to the touch and it was black and had some doodly doodad hanging off of it. And it had Floof in it and a bunch, like, not a bunch, 5 other colors. I think there was like a black and a purple, like things that I'm drawn to. That's how I got addicted to Floof. And we're going back 10, 12 years. I have no idea. That's in the garbage somewhere in a dump. But I loved that. I rarely put a shimmery, like, brow bone situation. What I usually use is Emphasize, which is in this palette. Can you tell? I use that everywhere. I'm going to actually use it under my brow right now on top of that other one because I feel like this is a little bit brighter. And though it is not shimmery, do you see how it's bright? So you get kind of like a highlight effect. See that difference? All right, so under the brow bone with Emphasize. And basically my eye look is done, minus like a little bit of liner near the lash line and mascara. So what I'm gonna do now before I go back to the face is just grab a wipe, clean up, and I'll be right back. All right, so now that all the fallout that occurred here, because it was kind of like on the bridge of my nose, I cleaned that up and just a little bit like here. Like I don't mind this darkness here, but like here, I already have bags of doom occurring. Let's not add to them. And now since I have a wipe, I'm just gonna like clean my hands with it because I'm gonna apply my foundation with my hands. I honestly feel like the face and body applies the best just with your own meat paws. But, you know, make sure your hands are clean so you're not spreading like poop all over your face. I mean, what? I didn't just dunk my hands in a toilet. Or did I? So I always shake this first. If you've ever used this, you know that it kind of gets thicker as you move it around. So I usually just do one of these. Dude, just let it get on my face. And then I just use my hands to work it in. And because it does get thicker, I kind of concentrate it where I need more coverage. This does not have a lot of coverage, so just a warning. If you have problem skin, you will not like this. My problems are that I'm old, and that is why I like this, because it does not cling to anything, but it does not have coverage. Like, honestly, if you're looking for coverage, don't even bother with this. You'll hate it, and you'll curse my name. Because it's basically like a sheer wash of color. And if you don't have like old people's skin, I mean, if you have perfect skin and you just want like something to look fresh, like look how nice and fresh that looks. And I honestly wouldn't use concealer except for that. Look at this. Terrible. So you can see like my skin, and I am so fine with that. I don't care anymore. I would rather my skin show than it look crusty. I just have not found anything. Actually, I really do like the Healthy Foundation from Physicians Formula. That has more coverage than this, but it's a little dry on me right now. And it's humid out, so I can't imagine that I'm gonna like it in the winter. But so then basically I'm just like, okay, I need like a little more here. So sometimes I'll just put a little bit more there, then pick up my beauty sponge and tap it. You don't really want to use a sponge with this on the first application because it will eat all of the product. But this just gives like a nice, evened out, sort of like fresh. See how it has a sheen to it? It's very, very skin-like. More skin-like than, you know, most people probably prefer. All right, so now that that's happening, I'm gonna then go for the concealer under the Horrible Eye Bags of Doom. This is surprisingly good coverage. Like, I've used this on and off for years, but you can see that I'm getting to the end of it. And it's already like twisted up because I used it for my base for my eyes, so I don't need to twist up more. If you do, it'll be too much. And I just really go right where I need it, which is here. Then I will usually, and it looks obscene, but it'll be fine. I usually put a little here lightly and then here. Just because I have like more redness in those areas, and the face and body is not gonna cover that. My sponge is actually dry. I mean, technically this part feels a little bit not dry because I just use the face and body, but I kind of like that. It kind of helps push it in. Now, normally if I'm just doing like a natural, like every day I'm not going out look, I would do my face first. I rarely do my eyes first. I just know that dark matte shadows sometimes tend to fall out, and I had a feeling that I've used this last year and that I had that problem, so just to not have to like do more work, because nobody wants that. You want to be careful not to actually get into your shadows with the concealer, because you'll start mixing like an Easter egg, all the color together, and then you'll like make your under eyes look gray. So I tap it in as best as I can, and then I usually go back with more eyeshadow, like to darken that area up. Like if I remove a little bit, that's okay, but you don't want to like press it into your under eye, because then you're kind of like defeating the purpose. Does that make sense? Because you're then adding like shadows. So, God, if you guys have any recommendation for this, it's just like I'm sunken in, like I'm dying. It's just so terrible. So now that looks like crazy because I don't have any other makeup on, but as soon as I like put my bronzer and stuff on and blush and highlight, it won't look so stark. So now I'm just going to go back with this brush and that tan color and buff the underneath. And out here to kind of blend a little bit. Just because I was pouncing around with my sponge. I like the sort of like rounded shape when I do like a smoky eye. Like that's why I don't do any liner other than what I'm going to do, which is just like liner at the base of my lashes. Okay, so now we're gonna do that. We're gonna do some liner at the base of my lashes, and I just realized I told my wife this morning that I lost my tweezers. No, I didn't. They're literally just right where they always are. Oh, send help, send help. So I'm gonna use the Stila, what are you called? Stay All Day liquid liner in black. I think that's its name. Oh, excuse me, intense black. And just at the lash line. Just so that there's not a space between eyeball and lashes and mascara. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you're either leaving that space or you're awesome and you've never done that. I do feel like you have to shake this one after each application, but I've had this forever. I don't wear liner that often, so it lasts me a long time. It doesn't dry out, so that's great. I want to say I have had this for a year. I really love the green shade. I need to get that again for the fall with just like a nothing eye and like the green liner. Love that. Am I rushing fall? Am I being that girl? I already have my outfit planned for a little walk. I'm just gonna throw on, I have like faux leather leggings that are like faux, the front of them are leather, faux. And then they're just like leggings or whatever, but I got them from H&M like 1,000 years ago. And I mean, like, I'm not skinny, but I'm not fat. I'm like that weird, I'm like a size 14. And so sometimes things in like regular sizes fit me. And then sometimes like the plus size, they don't fit me because I have no butt. I have no butt and no boobs. So you're probably like, well, where is your meats? All in the middle. So just like a tomato on stilts. That's my name. That's who I am. What are you going to do? All right, so now I'm going to pop on my bronzer, blush, and highlight because I always do my my eyeshadow. I always do my eyeshadow last. Can't you tell? My mascara last. So for bronzer, I've been using like a cream bronzer all summer, but I'm feeling my L'Oreal Bronze It. Trusty giant pan, big as my face. For today, I love this bronzer. It has a little bit of a sheen, so if you hate that, you will hate it. So don't do it then. And we're not contouring, so this is going everywhere. See how that helps? My under eye looked really like vanilla shade. A little on the doublés. Just what's left on the brush. And then sometimes I'll just deep right here. Deep. I'm sweating my balls off. I'm not gonna lie. Balls are on the ground. Do you guys like when I put a little music in the background? Or do you like my creepy weird silence in between everything I say? It's your preference, you tell me. So now I'm gonna do just like a neutral blush. I've had this blush for 600 years because I don't care about blush because I have red cheeks of death anyways. And so this is the Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blush in Party. I'm not a big blush girl just because I have already pigmentation there. So usually I like something that's kind of neutral. Sometimes I don't even do any blush, just bronzer. Bronzer. Got it. I love this brush. It's a Morphe brush and it's exploding and dying. It has no writing on it because again, acid hands. And when I was at a hair show last fall, Morphe was there in Columbus and I literally had this brush with me in my purse because I was like, do you make this? And they're like, nope. I love it. I don't know why they do that to me. And I don't even, it doesn't even have a name. This is also a Morphe. This is the E60 fan brush. I am a fan brush girl. I don't like those other highlight brushes. I've bought some and I don't like them. Is it because I have giant face? Oh, obviously. When will this not be the highlight I'm using? Wet n Wild Fergie collection that doesn't exist anymore. You know, I haven't actually tried to look this up on Amazon because I do have an Amazon storefront. Maybe I should look it up. And if I find it, plop it in there. But it's probably illegal to still have because it's like so old. But I feel like, you know, this is my collection. I don't do makeup for clients. Rare. If I do, I know them. Like I had a friend, I did some makeup for like her business. They were going to be in the paper. I used all my stuff, but I know her. Okay, so that is pretty much it. Now we're going to do a mascara. We're going to do a mascara. And L'Oreal Lash Paradise. Because it's a lot cheaper than the Better Than Sex mascara that I like. I really want to get the collab mascara that Tati talks about from Sally Beauty. Have you guys tried that? Because she says it's amazing and there's a Sally's right by my house. And I did try their eyeshadows last year. The little, they come in a 6-pan palette. They were pretty good. They had some fallout. Again, I feel like I talk about this every time. I don't really care about fallout. I just need to know about it before it goes on my face. So I can be prepared. I don't know, there's something about a matte smoky eye that I love. Do you guys dig a matte smoky eye? Is this the 90s? Am I too 90s right now? I don't care. So after our 4:30 date and I make cookies, I'll probably die. Because that's what's been happening. Although last night I couldn't sleep. Like my wife went to bed at 9 and she brought the baby upstairs, fed her. I like did dog duty because our dogs usually like go out to potty like for the last time of the night around 9 and then they go to bed at like 9:30. They have little beds that they go to and they sleep in her office. So I stayed up downstairs like picking up stuff. I think I like got the laundry from the basement. Went upstairs and she was out. So I wasn't tired. So I just started watching. I'm on season 6 of Orange is the New Black. I kind of like forgot about it and didn't care about it for a while and was like, meh. So now I kind of want to catch up so I can just finish it and watch the last season. Are you guys watching that still? Is that a thing? So then I was up until like midnight. This is the only time I mascara my lowers, because then it doesn't matter if it smudges because we're already looking like a raccoon. So then I was up till midnight, which worked out perfect because then the baby was sleeping from like 9 to midnight. And then she woke up, I changed her diaper, and then my wife fed her. And then we all went back to sleep. But like I was saying, sleep is like in chunks. So while like we'll go to bed at a decent time, we're like dying all day because you're not rested. I honestly, if you're a single mom, I don't, like, hats off to you. You're an amazing person. It's so fucking hard. Like, when we were in the hospital, I was like getting emotional about it. I was like, how do women do this by themselves? Like, how do they, like, especially like if you're breastfeeding your baby, I don't know how you do that by yourself. It seemed like it took Kelly and I plus like 3 nurses to get Hazel like doing what she was supposed to and get my wife's boobs doing what they were supposed to. It's just like so intense. And I was like, how do women do this when they don't have help? And I'm like, I get it that they don't, you know, that they're like, fuck this, I'm just gonna give my baby formula, because you don't know if they're eating, and it's like terrifying. Like, if they're not latching, and it's just you're exhausted, they're exhausted, like your brain's not working, your body's not working. Like, I could see how you just want to give up and be like, I can't do this, you know, even though like it is the best thing for your baby. In reality, the best thing for your baby is for your baby to eat, and however that needs to happen, you know. So it's like we went into it wanting to like breastfeed, one because money, well, one because it's healthy. 2, because money, who wants to like buy formula, you know, but in the back of our minds, we're like, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Whatever we got to do is to make sure that Hazel is fed and eating is, you know, what we're going to do. You know, we're not going to get hung up on like, it has to be breastfeeding or nothing, you know. Right now I'm looking for like a clean lip brush. I don't use a lip brush often. I have one that I like. And where is it? Is it right here? It looks like it's you. You will work. I'm going to use a lippy that I love that I didn't declutter. So if you haven't watched my lipstick declutter, go back a few videos and check that out. I'm kind of feeling like I want a red, but not like a bright red, not like a summer red, you know, like watermelon. This is not quite a brick red. To me, it's the cross between like a true blue red and a brick red. This is Hexagram from Kat Von D. It's like her studded bullet situation. I just love the tone of this. You can see that it does have coolness to it, but it still has like a little brickiness to it. So usually with this, I apply it and then I like fix it with the brush, because otherwise it can be a little bit. They're like a creamy matte formula. I hate watching people put lip product on. So real talk. I hate it. I hate the faces they make. I hate the sounds they make. So I'll just be right here. Is there something in the makeup process that drives you batty that other people do? Hell, do I do it? I don't know, because people are like, I can't stand to watch it. So basically I just get the product on, do a ye old, get it dispersed. Then I don't take more product. I just take my little brush here, and this is I think this is from the Crown brushes that I had. I like this that it's like pointed a little bit. You can get definition up here in the Cupid's bow. Then I just take what's there and almost just push it out to the edges. Just making a cleaner line. And getting all, I don't like lip liner. Maybe I should have mentioned that. I never use lip liner. I mean, I guess never's a lie because I have used it. Rarely. I just never was a lip liner girl. It's like one of those steps in makeup that I just was like, meh. And maybe I should use it because I do have like, see, my one lip, I have an Elvis lip. My one side's like more pointy. And so it's this side, so I always try to like round it. See how this side's nice and round? And this one like, rah. I love this color. And I think it's a great fall, like transitional red. So it's not bright, but it's not too vamp. So yeah, there we are. All right, friends. So what did you think about this pre-fall look? Kind of a going out look for tonight. So I have a cocktail with my 2-week-old baby. I'm not going to give the baby a cocktail, but you know what I'm saying. All right, friends. So thanks for watching this video. Click like if you liked it. Let me know that you actually watched it. That helps me like want to keep doing this. Subscribe to my channel, obviously, if you already don't. Follow me on Instagram at The Erin Alexis Show and ring that notification bell so you'll be notified of my upcoming videos when they are released. I try to release once a week. Yeah, so here we are. See you later, friends.